want you to go to your desktop. You'll see a folder there. What's it called? Nostrocom. I pasted a folder there. Okay? So I want you to open that folder. Open up that folder. All right. Is anybody having any challenge? Yeah, it's there. That place your mic is. That's open it. Yes. So you will see four files there. You will see 4 files there. So I want you to double click on git bash or git. Double click on the git icon and install it. All right. So you just follow the instructions. Click next. All right, I'm coming. I gave you that extreme system. I've already installed it. I'm coming. Are we live now? All right. All right. Just follow the prompt. Click yes, next, so that it will install. folder to store Git. Have your system loaded. Your installation is done, right? So launch Git bash. Click your Windows key and type Git bash. Type Git bash. Bash. I believe we all can hear me, right? So, like I said, the journey to software development is not, it's not a bed of roses. Is there a challenge? Press your Windows button and type git bash and open the git bash. All right. So I dropped a link in the group. How many of us saw the link? The link to our first course material that I asked us to go through. And how many of us had time to go through it? Okay. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. But the thing is, that's actually the flow I will be taking. Before each class, I'll give us a link, and that link should better explain the class ahead of time, so that by the time I start talking about the same concepts, you wouldn't feel lost. It's a way of helping you. Most times, it's actually difficult for you to really cope along when you are being introduced a new concept. And one thing with this software development is that you'll be learning a whole lot of new things. So it requires you to really do a lot of underground works. If you want to pick it all when I am talking about it here, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. So that is why I will always be dropping links, even after today's class. Endeavor to go through that link again. Watch those videos just in case you get confused in any way about what we are going to do right now, okay? So, the first thing we are looking at in our first week is Git and GitHub, all right? So, I believe every one of us here has a Gmail account, right? And you know your password, right? Okay. Why I ask that is because you are going to be creating a GitHub account. Now, I will just go straight to the point. What is Git? Now, Git in itself is a software that is used for version control. So you define Git as a version control system, all right? It's a system that allows developers to track changes to their codes, all right? It's a system that allows developers to track changes to their codes. That's one of the importance of Git. It comes with a whole lot of, command line codes that helps you easily interact with your local and remote repositories. Okay, if you look at that group, I gave you an outline of what I expect you to at least have an idea of. All right, so that is what Git is all about. I just defined Git. I said it's a version control system, and it helps developers to track changes to their codes. And secondly, Git also helps to foster what is called collaboration. During the virtual orientation, I told us that one of the skills of a software developer is, effective communication skills and collaboration. So most of the time, if not all the time, you will be collaborating with your colleagues, and even during the course of this training too. You will be shared in groups and you will be working on projects together, all right? So Git is something that will help you. As a developer, you can stay at the convenience of your home. You'll be working on an aspect of an application or a website, while your colleague will also stay at the comfort of their homes. They'll be working on an aspect of that same application. And at the end of the day, when you are done with your changes, you push your changes to your remote repository, while your colleague also pushes their changes to a remote repository. Then you merge it together and it becomes one. Are we together? Now, when I talk about a repository, what is a repository? A repository is simply a folder, all right? So the conventional thing is a folder on your systems. Now, a repository itself is a folder in the cloud, all right? And that folder in the cloud is called a remote repository, all right? By default, it is called the origin, okay? So now, you also have, when you now have a Git folder in your desktop or your laptop, that's in your local PC, is called a local repository. All right? So most of the times, how you go about it is you first of all create your remote repository on GitHub or GitLab or any other web cloud-based repository services or Git services. You create your remote repository, then you clone it down to your local PC and you begin to make your changes. Are we together? Are we together? All right. So, but then before I will proceed to, talk about start working on Git proper, I want us to familiarize ourselves with what is before you. You are looking at what is called a bash shell. Okay. Now, before now, the best way you know how to use your computer is to use your graphical user interface. Am I correct? That is using your mouse and clicking. If you want to create a folder, you use your mouse to create a folder. If you want to delete a file, if you want to navigate through a path, you use your mouse to do all those things. But then, as a software developer, most of the times you will not be doing that thing. You will basically be working with your terminal and you will be writing code. Now, in computing, there's what you call command line interface, and there is also what you call graphical user interface. So the graphical user interface is the ones you are seeing. They have the icons, the folders. You can use your mouse to click and drag and drop and all the rest. But command line interface is you will actually be writing the instructions that make those things happen. Because when you are clicking your mouse, under the hood, you are executing some lines of code. So this time around, you will be the one writing those lines of code, and not like you are the one now that will be writing the lines of code, because that's basically what you do. Are we together now? All right. So now, the reason why you are using this Git bash is because there are some commands that we are going to be learning that is not available on your command prompt. Okay? So that's why we are using a Git bash. Usually, I would have just switched to my Linux. All right? But I will not do that because I just want everybody to be on the same page. So most of the commands we are going to use here now is called a Unix command. All right? Not all those commands are acceptable on Windows terminal. So that is why we had to install Git bash. All right, now the first command you are going to be learning is what we call the print working directory. Now, as your cursor is blinking before you there, the first thing you want to know is where exactly are you on? All right, which folder is it done? Is it done? Password. Okay, so the first thing you are going to learn is print working directory. And how do you do that? PWD. When you type PWD and hit enter, I don't know if you guys can see that thing on that board. Oh, that's great. So you can see it now, right? Are you serious that you are not seeing it? That one is not coming on. Can you go closer? Probably you could go closer and be taking your notes and then come back to your systems. I don't know, but you understand. Are you following? Can you see it? Yes. All right. So PWD tells you your present working directory. That is, where exactly are you? Now, that's the first command you just learned. The next command is you want to see everything that is in this directory. You use the ls command. All right? So you use the ls command. Type ls on your shell. When you type ls, it will list out all the folders in that your shell. ls, just ls, and you hit enter. Nice. So you can see that it listed a couple of folders for you there, right? Exactly. So now I want us to do something. when we typed PWD, it printed out something for us, right? The first thing it started with is C / what? Users / what again? User. Okay, so I want you to open that folder. Go click Windows E. Press Windows E on your keyboard. It will take you to your Windows Explorer. You click on this PC. All right? Any challenge? Huh? Type it now on your. No, don't just type the PWD. What's the challenge? All right, open your C folder. Go click on this PC. Click on this PC. This PC is by your right, by your left rather. Look at where my mouse is. Around here. This PC. You find this PC. Click on it. And then you open your local disk C. Open your local disk C. Have you opened it? Go to users. Local disk C. You go to users and then open user. Yes. There should be a user folder there. Have you opened your user folder? It's open, right? Okay, fine and good. So let's go back to our terminal. You are going to be making some couple of changes and it will be reflecting in that your folder. So why I wanted you to open that folder is so that you will understand that some of the things you are going to do right now ordinarily is something you would have done with your mouse, but you can see that you will be doing them by writing the commands by yourself. All right, so the next command you are going to write is clear. When you write clear, it will help you to wipe out everything that is on your. And I hope you are jotting down these commands because it will help you so that you can as well review them. So when you write clear and hit enter, it will clean your screen for you. Make sure you are on your terminal. Yeah. No. You are not on the right, sir. The sign in white. You are not on your terminal. So you can see. You can see that the clear command clears what is written on your terminal. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to create a folder. And how do you do that? You use the command mkdir. It's a short form for make directory. All right? Look at it there, mkdir. think it's bold enough now. Can you see it? mkdir. All right, so you hit space and then you type the name of your folder. So I'm going to type mine, git space git repo make directory. So a directory is also known as a folder. So it's the short form for make folder or make directory. So mkdir. I'm calling it git-repo. Look at the screen before you type mkdir git-repo, and I'll hit enter. Automatically, I've created a folder with that command. If I type ls, it will show me, I'll find git-repo there. So I can see git-repo. Is that what it told you? Oh, that's interesting.
Which this thing are you using? Which user are you using? Let them log into user accounts. Log into, make use of user account. Sign out from that account.
Type ls. You should see the folder. Please pair yourself with someone that already have a system, okay? You came late, so all right. So for those online, you have to install the git bash. All right, just go on Google and type git. All right, just go to Google, type Git, download Git for Windows, and you can click here to download. All right, for those of you that are watching online. Okay, so now someone asked a question: how do I see? How do I even see the folder that I created? Now go back to that place you opened. Check if there is a folder that was created known as git-repo. I can find mine. I have a git-repo. You can see it, right? Nice. So you can see that I opened it with administrative privileges. So what you just need to do, go to that your folder. That's user/user folder. Okay, check if you can find a git-repo folder there. Okay? Nice. So you can see that it's actually there. So we succeeded in creating a folder with our command line. Okay? So the next thing you are going to do now is we are going to change directory. That is, we are going to move into that folder. Okay? How you do that is cd. Cd is the keyword, cd space git-repo, and I'll hit enter. All right? That cd stands for change directory. Git-repo, cd space git-repo, and I'll hit enter. It will take me automatically to that folder. Now, if I print pwd, that is print working directory, it will show me the path. So, automatically I know that I'm in git-repo. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to create a file inside this folder. All right? So there are a couple of ways to create a file. We can use Vim, we can use Nano, but the simplest way to create a file on the terminal is using the touch keyword. So we are going to use touch. All right? We are going to use touch space readme.md. So automatically we just created a file called readme.md. Now once you do that, look at my keywords. I use touch space readme, capital readme.md. That extension .md, it means markdown. All right? So most times, it's not in fact, all the times, whenever you create a Git repository, you will always have a readme file. That readme file is what will give your user an instruction on how to utilize your GitHub, your Git repository. Touch space readme.md. All right, so go to your folder, go to the folder that git-repo. Check if you can find a readme.md file. That is, navigate with your mouse this time. Check inside that folder to verify if you can see a readme.md file.
Yes.
All right, so you can see that you have succeeded in creating a file on your terminal. But right now, that file is empty. You can see that the file is 0 kilobytes, right? Yes. Fine. It means that the file is actually empty. So, we are going to write something inside that file right now. So let's go back, okay? You haven't seen it. Go to your local disk C, users/user, Git repo. Inside your Git repo folder, you should find the readme.md. Have you seen it? Nice. All right, so on the terminal, back again, we are going to actually write something into this readme.md. All right, so how do we do that? We are going to use a keyword, echo. All right, echo now, whenever you use the keyword echo and write a text within it, it will just print it down. It will just print it there. on your terminal. So look at what I'll do. I'll do the word echo space. I'll put, okay, let me clear so that it can come up. So I'm going to do echo space. This is a readme file, okay? That's what I'm going to do. And I'll do like this, readme.md, and I'll hit enter. So basically, I've written this text. This is a readme file, and I've injected it into the readme.md file. How do I know? If I use the keyword cat, readme.md, yeah, readme.md. So you can see that it has printed out, this is a readme file for me. And if I navigate to my folder and open readme.md, it will open it on VS Code, and as you can see, it's saying this is a readme file. So automatically I have edited that folder from the terminal. Any challenge? So what's the challenge? You said? Okay, so actually what we did is we wrote echo space. Then we now wrote this is a readme file. That is inside quotation marks. Is that place where you have JKL colon, the next one hold shift and press the next key. That's the key before the enter key. That should give you a colon. All right. Are we together? All right. So I hope we are together. The readme.md. Okay, what's the question? I'm not the one that typed it. It returned it for me. Look at it. When I did cat readme.md, all right, and I hit enter, so you can see that it's showing me that this is a readme file. Okay. Exactly. So the cat reads the content of a file. What's the challenge? You said? Okay, the two arrows. It's called redirection. It is used to redirect the output into that file. Okay? All right. So I want to clear my screen. Are you still using it? So now each of you, I want you to create a file individually. How do you create a file? You use the touch keyword, right? Right? Exactly. So do that. Create a file. Choose any name for your file. Just create a file. Huh? You can just clear your terminal and continue, but you are not actually removing the file. You need my attention. should know that, be careful to use the right syntax. mkdir is make directory. Touch is used for creating a file. What's wrong with my screen now? It has gone off. Alright, we are back. So, have we all succeeded in creating the file? I don't really, okay. Uh-huh. Is that? Visual Studio Code. Okay. All of the Git bash, is it there? The Git bash is there. Check if there is a folder on the desktop where a software development folder stuff on the desktop. It has Visual Studio Code, you can install it. But we'll do that later. We'll do that later. So we've created so okay. Alright.
Solomon, they ask, Solomon, that last question. So how do I get the terminal on the road?
So have we all succeeded in creating the file?
So how do I get the terminal?
How do I get it? Where is it? Okay, please, how can I get my own terminal? Okay. If for Solomon that is asking how do I get my own terminal, if you have installed Git bash, just press your Windows key and type Git bash. That's if you've installed Git. Press your Windows key and type Git bash and hit enter. It will open. It will open your terminal for you. Alright? Okay, so I want you to No, your folder must not be git/repo. But you know, CD is change directory. You get? Yeah, you should change directory to an existing folder. So you have to create a folder first and then CD to that folder. Are we together? All right. So I'll clear and I'll do ls. So in this folder, the only thing I have there is readme.md. But let me create another file. Let's say touch gitbasics.txt. Now, if I do ls, I now have two files. I've created two files there. All right. So now we are going to use another way to edit this file inside our terminal. We are not exiting the terminal. Mind you, take note. We are not exiting this terminal. We are going to edit this file inside the terminal. All right. So how you are going to do that is using the command vi gitbasic.txt and hit enter. All right. It will just print out a couple of lines for you. Hit enter again, and it will open up this Vim editor. Okay. Okay, I said so far so good now. I have two files in this folder, okay? I just created the gitbasic.txt, all right? So I want to edit gitbasic.txt inside my terminal. I'm not leaving this terminal. I'm not opening it with any software. I'm going to open it with a built-in editor on the terminal, okay? And that editor is called Vim or VI. So I will type the keyword vi space gitbasic.txt. All right, vi space gitbasic.txt. Once I hit enter, it will print out this stuff. I will hit enter again, and it will open up this terminal for me. All right, what's the question? Did you create the file? Touch. ls, let me see. List, ls. seeding into that repo. Then you now do VI, choose anything. All right, so now okay, someone is asking, am I to download the one written thumb drive edition? No. Don't download the one written thumb drive edition. You can see standalone installer. You can see a standalone installer, 32-bit Git for Windows or 64-bit Git for Windows, depending on your version of system, be it 32-bit or 64-bit. All right, that is where you should download it from. So now on this Vim editor, for you to be able to go into insert mode, right now, if you type anything on your keyboard, it will not work. Okay? If you type anything on your keyboard, it will not work. But for you to start typing, you click on I. It changes it to insert mode. You can see that the mode has changed to insert. If you look there, you can see that it has changed to insert. So I can now start typing. I can type anything I want. This is the basics of Git and GitHub. Currently, we are learning the basic shell commands. All right, so these are I just wrote this stuff. This is the basics of Git and GitHub. Currently, we are learning the basic shell commands. All right. You can choose your own stuff. You can choose what you want to be the content. And if you are done, how you save is you press escape to exit the insert mode. Yes, you press your escape key. You press the escape key. It has exited the insert mode. You press Shift:. All right. You can see my cursor is blinking below. Then you type WQ and put an exclamation mark and hit enter. It will save and exit. Yes, after the escape key, you press Shift:. 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 Then you now press WQ and exclamation mark. That thing means save and quit, save and exit. W is for save, Q is for quit. I understand why you are feeling that way. No, don't worry, just take it easy. Are you in the git-repo directory? Are you there now? Yeah. You are there. Press I. Click I on your keyboard to enter insert mode. Press I on your keyboard. Has it changed to insert? You can now type whatever you wish to type. It must not be long as my own. It can just be short. I'm just showing you that this is another way you can actually edit a document in the terminal. You're welcome, Solomon Wandire. All right, so like I said, if you are done, to exit the insert mode, you press your escape key. Then you now press Shift:. You can see your cursor will start blinking. For you to save and exit, you type WQ and exclamation mark. Once you are done, you hit enter and it will exit. All right? So if I check the content of gitbasic.txt, how do I do that? Using the cat keyword. If I do cat gitbasic.txt, you can see that it has printed out the content. This is the basic of Git and GitHub. Currently we are learning the basic shell command. Hit escape, press escape button, the escape key, then shift colon, shift plus colon. You press the shift plus colon and you type W, shift plus colon, like shift colon. You hold shift and colon. You type WQ, exclamation mark. This is software development class, Mr. David. All right, are we there? Yeah, shift colon, then you type WQ and exclamation mark and hit enter. My man that just came in, were you following online? You were not following online, you are just coming. So you have to just pair with this lady, okay? And just continue from where we are, all right? All right, so we are done with that. Clear? Now, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to learn how to remove a file. That's to delete a file. Okay? So actually, I'm going to create a file that I want to delete. All right? So I'll just do touch del.txt. So I just created the file I just want to delete. That file is called del.txt. I want to show us how to actually remove that file. But then, before I remove that, I will also create a folder that I also want to remove, mkdir rem. Okay, rem-dir. I can just do rem-dir. I have a folder and a file that I want to delete. Now, before we do that, I'll teach us how to move a file. You can actually move and copy a file into a directory from the terminal, okay? All right. So, for copy, the keyword for copy is cp. If you do cp del.txt space rem-dir, what this thing simply means is copy del.txt into rem-dir. If I do cd rem-dir and I do ls, you can see that we have a file del.txt inside rem-dir. I don't know if we understood what I just did. So what's the challenge? I created the rem-dir folder, okay, and I did cd, that's change directory, cd space rem-dir, okay. I should come. So please do that. Create a del.txt. Create a del.txt and also create a rem-dir folder. Do that quickly. Yes, now. Copy that file into remdir. CD, change directory. Alright, so I want to show us, okay, we've actually seen how to copy. You can as well move that file if you don't want it to be there. Okay, I still have del.txt in my git-repo, and I also have it in the remdir, as you can see. Now, I'm inside remdir. I want to go back one step. Okay? If I want to go back one step, I will do cd dot dot. It will take me back. It's just like going backwards. Did you understand? If I do cd remdir and I do pwd, print working directory, you can see I'm inside the remdir folder. I want to go back to my git-repo folder. I'll do cd space dot dot. It will take me back to the, if you can see now, I'm inside git repo. It actually does not do anything. So it has to be dot dot. Okay? Alright. So let me ls again. I still have my, so I'm going to move now. The keyword for move is mv. I'm going to move. I'll do mv del.txt remdir and I'll hit enter. I have actually moved del.txt into remdir. If I do ls, it will no longer be there. Any challenge? What do you have there? I will not come there. You solve it by yourself. What's the challenge? What exactly do you want to do? Which print working directory? Let me see where you are. pwd, where are you exactly? You are in red dir. That's why you are only seeing del.txt. You understand? So navigate back to git-repo. cd space dot dot. ls now. Have you seen it? So move the file to red dir. That's using the keyword mv. mv. Move. That's mv is for move. mv space del.txt space remdir. Once you do that, if you ls again, you will not find that del.txt anymore. Are we all on the same page? It mustn't be del.txt. That thing is just a file name I chose. The things, the ones that are keywords are the ones that start first. You get, like the echo, the touch, the ls, the mv, the cp, all those things are the keywords. You cannot just change it. But every other thing there that follows after it, they are more like names. You can easily change them if you wish. All right. So these are basic shell commands. So far, we have seen what the ls does. We also have the one we call less. Okay? ls-la. Okay? I should come? Okay. Actually, what I did there was I used a command, I used a flag. A flag is also is like a keyword that gives extra information. All right. Now, if I do ls, the only thing I'm going to see here is readme.md, gitbasic.txt, and remdir. Okay. But now, if I give it a flag of -a, it means list all. That is both hidden files. It will display everything. Okay. If I do ls-a now and hit enter, you can see that it has printed extra things for me. There is a ./ and ./ But you wouldn't get that when you just do normal ls. Okay. I just introduced that because ls-a. So if you are working on if you start using some git commands too, it comes with some flags. Okay. Yes, list everything, both hidden files and non-hidden files. All right. ls-a. ls space -a. Yes. All right. So lastly, we are going to remove this directory. We've learned how to create, we've learned how to edit, we've learned how to create, read, edit. So we are going to delete now. So how you delete actually is rom. You use the keyword rom. Okay? And you give it a flag of -r. This rom for remove. Rom as in remove. So you give it a flag of -r. What that -r means is recursively. Just keep removing everything, remove everything until you are done. Okay? So you do rom, that's for remove space -r space remdir and hit enter. So if I ls again, you see that the remdir has gone. We've succeeded in removing it. So it's no longer there. So it removed everything alongside the del.txt that was inside. So now we have succeeded in understanding some basic shell commands. So now let's go into Git proper. Hello? It will not, just like we have a folder inside. It will throw you an error, just like you have a folder inside. Okay, let's try it out. We have mkdir, okay. I have a folder remdir / del.txt. Okay. Oh, no. I'll use touch so that it creates a folder alongside for me. All right. I'm using a touch remdir and I'll hit okay. Touch. No such file or directory. Okay. Let me do vi remdir / del.txt. Okay. So let me just say I will delete this file. Oh, okay. Okay, let me just create the directory. All right, so let's see. Let's try to delete without the -r, right? rom remdir and hit enter. What did it say? So you can see. No, I don't create again. It's something we've done already. But then That ROM now, we have ROM-dir, that is remove directory. It now said fail to remove directory. Directory is not empty. Can you see? Do you understand? So let's also introduce the -r to it. Now it now says that it doesn't know the option of -r for rem-dir. So you cannot use -r for rem-dir. You can only use it for ROM. You understand? So what we did was ROM recursive rem-dir, and it went off. So you can see it. Alright, so that's that for basic shell commands. Now let me just do a quick recap. We performed some actions. We learned how to create. Now we learned how to create a file and a folder. You use the keyword touch to create a file, then file.txt. It will just create a file for you. Alright? Now, for us to put something inside that file, we use the keyword echo, and let's say this is the content of file.txt, and we did something like this. Okay? So we automatically injected that line. This is the content of file.txt into file.txt. And we were able to read file. Okay, now we want to read. You do cat file.txt for reading, and it will read the content of file.txt. Are we together? Fine. So that is how to create and read a file. So we also learned how to create a directory by using mkdir, let's say file directory. So we can see that we have a file directory there. And for us to read the file directory, that is, we just need to go inside it and see what is inside it. You can do cd file directory. Okay? And now you do ls. There's nothing inside the file directory. Okay? So how to remove the file directory? We use ROM-dir file directory, and it will remove the file directory for us. Okay? So that is create, read, and as well delete both file and folders. Are we together? Are we together? Is anybody lost or confused? Okay, so now let's go straight to Git. For you to create a Git repository, use the keyword git init. The keyword git init stands for git initialize. All right? So we have just succeeded in initializing a Git repository. So from what it says initialized an empty Git repository in this particular folder, git-repo. Now, like I told us, Git is a version control system, and it helps us to keep track of our changes. All right? So the essence of Git actually is to allow developers to collaborate. So if I'm on my system, you're on your system, I can actually have a repository on the cloud, and you pull that repository to your local PC, make some changes, and push it back. And I will see the changes as well. Are we together? So that's what we are going to do now. And we are going to make use of GitHub. All right? So each and every one of us now, we are going to create a GitHub account. We said we have a Gmail account, right? Exactly. So let's go to Google. There's no internet. Your own system. If your system is not connected, tether it via USB. Connect to the Wi-Fi with your phone and you tether via USB. Someone should confirm the name of that Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's in Akobundu stuff. If your system has a Wi-Fi connection, you should. Okay, he's coming now. He's coming to help. Okay, let's go to GitHub. All right. So let's go to GitHub. All right. So I'm actually logged in. Okay. You said? Yeah, you can use your own system this time around. So go to Google, type GitHub, and click on it. Choose any account. Just use any account and open. Use your use the system. Okay, you can use your phone if your phone has internet access. Just click on GitHub. You can't find GitHub. Is there internet access at all? So if you if you click GitHub, look at the first option that comes out there. HTTPS GitHub. You click on it. It will open this thing for us. Are we looking at the screen? You didn't look at my screen. Look at what I said. Open Google and type GitHub. Fill in the details. Oops. Huh? Log into your Gmail now. Do you have a Gmail account? How do you access your Gmail account? Through your phone app. You are not with your phone. You cannot. Do you know the password? They might request for OTP, and you need to confirm it with your phone. Huh? There's a little challenge now. Except you create a new Google account. So have anybody succeeded in creating an account? Because it's the first time you are using GitHub, you must create an account with them. Okay, just try to alter it. Add something to the username so that it will be a bit unique. Who has succeeded in creating an account? They might ask you to solve a puzzle or something. So you have to solve the puzzle. Has it come? Sir? The puzzle. But take note of your password, okay? Because that's all you use to log in. Has anybody succeeded with creating an account? Have you been able to log in? Okay, that's great. some of us are still trying to. Not trying to. So you succeeded in logging in there. What happened? The email you have provided is already associated with an account. So log in now. Click on sign in. You already have an account of GitHub. Say incorrect password. Alright, we'll have to continue so that we don't have much time anymore. Our time is already exhausted. So, let me go back to my account. So now this is GitHub, and this is the home page. Click on your profile, your profile icon. See now, it has opened. Click on your profile icon. You saw where I got my own from. Here. Okay, now you can see a couple of options. You can see your profile, your repositories, your copilot, your project, and all the rest. So what we are much more concerned about is your repositories. Okay, for now, you most likely have an empty repository because you've not really done much of, you've not done anything actually. So, but I myself, I have a good number of repositories which I've been working on. There are different projects which I've been working on for quite a while now. So we are going to create a new repository. All right. You can use your phone. Use your phone, madam. Use your phone. Don't worry, use your phone. Then when you come back to that system. Huh? I said click on this profile icon. You weren't following up. Always follow as I'm saying. Click on this profile icon. You'll see there is a repository link here. You click on this, your repositories. Can't you see? Look by your right now. Are you not seeing something like that? Have you seen it? You want me to come and find it for you? Have you seen it? Sir? You did not see what? click on the new icon to create an empty repository. Okay, so you see the options, create a new repository. All right, repository name. So let's give it the same name that we gave to our local repository. But it mustn't be the same name actually. But let's just keep the convention going. Git-repo. Git-repo. All right. So you give it git-repo and you scroll down. Description. This is a Git repository for learning the basics of Git and GitHub. All right. So we can see this description now is going to come as your README file. You check this icon, add a README file. All right. Then for now, let's keep it a public repository. Solomon, if you don't have a GitHub repository, you create one. We all created repositories. So if you don't have one, you create it by yourself. Go to Google and type GitHub. Create an account with GitHub. All right. So far, you write the name of your repository. You click on public. You click on add a README file. And then finally, you click on create repository. All right, we have succeeded in creating a GitHub repository. Yeah, make sure you check that add README file. Yeah, click on create a repository. Sir? So basically we will have one file in our Git repository, which is that README file that we created when we were putting in a description. This is a Git repository for learning the basics of Git and GitHub. All right. So now the next thing we are going to do is all of you now quickly search for me on GitHub and follow me up. Click on the search icon. My username is SOLKIONA. Just search for my name and follow me up on GitHub. KIONA. SOLKIONA. Or you can actually search me by my name, but that one it will be faster. What does it say? KIONA. Have you seen me? Huh? You have seen me. All right, so follow up. On the search bar, the search icon. Yes. No, just click on the search icon. Okay. Okay. Hmm? Follow, follow. There's a link there to follow. Click on follow. Okay, git hyphen repo. So I believe almost all of us are on the same page, right? So let's go back to our repository. All right, so we have our Git repo. We have our Git repo. Now, the first thing we are going to do now is, this is our remote repository, okay? Remote in the sense that it is in the cloud, all right? Fine. Now, we are going to create a copy of this remote repository on our local PC. Are we together? We are going to create a copy of this remote repository on our local PC. How do we do that? The fastest way we do that is click on code, all right? So you can actually see HTTPS, SSH, and GitHub CLI. So we are going to clone this repository using HTTPS. Are we on the same page? Are we together? Where are you? Yes. Remember, we are on this repo, this empty Git repo now. We'll click on the code, all right? Then click on HTTPS and copy this thing. Copy this particular URL. Copy. Click on this copy icon. It will copy to your clipboard. The next thing we do is we go back to Git bash. All right? So we go back to Git bash. All right, so we are going to do git clone. And then we'll paste that URL that we copied. It will tell you cloning into this repository. Bam, we have the repo on our local machine. Git clone space. Then that's that URL that we copied from GitHub. Right click. You will see an option to paste. Yeah. Yes, hit enter to tell you cloning, and at the end of the day to tell you it has ended up cloning an empty repository or something. Did you succeed? What happened? succeeded in cloning that repository. Okay? So if we go into this, now understand something actually. We cloned a copy of that repository. You get? We cloned it locally on our system. Now, what we are going to be doing is, let's say we are working on some files, all right? We are done with editing, we've made our changes. We want it to reflect on that repo in the cloud, you understand? So that your colleagues too can see the changes that you made to your file, you understand? So that is what we are going to do right now, and we'll call it a day. All right, so let's go into this repo that we cloned. So we can see that what we have here is readme.md. If I cut this file now, you discover that it is exactly what we have in that GitHub that is there. You can see it. This is what? A Git repository for learning the basics of Git and GitHub. Fine. I did git clone now. Okay. See the command I used. Look at, that's the command. That particular link, you'll find it under code in your repository. See it here, when you click on code, you copy it, then you come to your terminal and you type git clone, git space clone space that particular link, and you hit enter. It will clone it down to your local PC. You get? All right, so we are going to create a new file. All right, so everybody create a new file inside that repo. Inside the repo, yeah. Let's just create, call it anything. Call it anything. Create a new file inside that repo. All right, so create a new file and add some text into that new file. Are we there? Have we succeeded with that? So you've created, cut the content of your file. What does it say? Right click and paste.
So what should do what?
Cut the content of the file. That's, I want to be sure that you've inserted something into the new file that you created. Okay, it didn't copy that. Go back to that. Click here. Make that stop it now. how to do that. Move mv space new file.txt space git hyphen repo. You understand? mv space new file.txt space git hyphen repo. Ignore the thing git though. Git hyphen repo. The git hyphen repo you are talking about is this one. Alright? So I think we're on the same page now, right? You created the file inside that ls. Let me see what you have inside. You've not created any new file. Create a new file inside that.
I created a new file.
Where is it? Move it. Move it into this string. Cd dot dot. Go back to the tab. Dot dot dot. Go back one step. Move it. Mv. Move it dot mv. Move it into that. No, mv. What did you type? Space. Moving dot mv. Space. Then the name of your repository. You didn't specify. Now, you type something but you didn't finish it. You use your up arrow key. Now, specify, write the name of the folder git hyphen. Move it into this repo now. You actually created outside it. Instead of do mv, move it. Move this file now. Move this your repo mv, move it into git hyphen. Alright, so cd into git hyphen and ls. Let's see the content. You understand?
CD
Into git hyphen repo. Yes. Type git hyphen repo. No, like cd, like you're going into, that's what I mean. Cd space git hyphen repo. ls. Let's see what you have inside now. Yeah, enter. Then do ls. Fine. You see, you now have movies.mv. So you have. How many lists do you now have? Which one, sir? Okay, let's see. Which one is the key? Oh, alright. I hope there will be no issue. Alright, so finally, yes. So, alright. Okay, so two other things we are going to do right now, and we'll call it a day. Now, there's what we call, hello, can I have your attention? There's what we call workflow in Git, all right? Now, the workflow in Git is you start from modified, and you go to staging, and then you go to commit, okay? So you should take note of that. You go from modified, it's just called workflow in Git, all right? You go from modified, you go to staging, and then you go to commit, which is the last one.
staging.
Yeah. From modified, you go to staging. From staging, you go to modified. Yeah, commit, yes. Hello? Hello, sir. Yes, sir. I'm rounding up, sir. Okay, sir. Definitely. All right. So how now everything we've been doing actually we've been modifying, okay? Creating of files, deleting of files. We've actually been modifying stuff. If I do something like git status now, there's a command known as git status, all right? It's telling me that on branch main, your branch is up to date with origin main, but we have an untracked file, new file.txt, nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. Use git add to track. Now, what this thing means is that we've modified a file on our local branch, okay? Our local copy. Remember that we pulled that repository from the cloud, right? Now, the one on our local PC is ahead of the one that is in our cloud PC, you get? That's why when I did git status, it's telling me that there is a new file that is not tracked yet. Do you understand? Now, how you track it is by using the command git add new file.txt. All right? So it's telling me in the working copy of new file.txt, LF will be replaced with CROL, whatever. Forget about the warning, but the fact is that we have started tracking this file, new file.txt. Okay? Let me do git status again. Now, look at what it says. On branch main, your branch is up to date with origin main. Changes to be committed. Use git restore -- staged to unstage. We have staged this file. Okay? Are we together? We've staged this file by doing git add new file.txt. Are we together? And now it's shining green, telling me I have added a new file to the staging process. All right? Then the next thing I'm going to do now is commit. I'll do git commit. I'll give it a flag -m for message. All right? Now I'll write my message. This is my first commit. And I'll hit enter. Okay? So you can see that I did git commit -m. This is my first commit. It has started tracking it for me here. This is a code that it will generate for every new commit I make. You understand? The code will keep changing because it is using it to track your changes. All right? So having done git commit, the last thing I'll do is git push. All right? So I'm going to do git push. Okay. So I am required to log in for it to successfully push these changes that I made. Okay. I want to sign in. All right, I have successfully pushed. You said? Hey, has it gone off? Okay, I have successfully pushed my change. It says, please complete authentication, which I have done, and I have pushed these changes to my remote repository. If I come back to this place, to GitHub, and I go to these repositories. Remember we added a new file, right? New file.txt. All right, so let's see if it has reflected in our remote repository. Fine and good. Do you now see? And it shows what? 2 minutes ago. Can you see? So it has shown that my local repo is now up to date with my remote repository. Do we understand? So as it stands now, if I add you as a collaborator to this project, you can as well pull a copy of this my repo on your local PC, make your changes, and push your changes, all right? I myself, as the admin of that repo, will review it and merge the changes. Are we together? So that is the next thing we are going to do by tomorrow. We are going to be learning collaboration on Git and GitHub. So by tomorrow, I'll be pairing us together and we'll add each, let's say we'll be in a group, so we'll have about 2 or 3 collaborators, okay? So you make your different changes, you pull a particular remote repository to your individual systems, you commit your changes, make your different changes and push, all right? Now, one person amongst your team would be the one to review the changes and merge them together, all right? So that you understand what it means by collaboration in Git. Are we together? Now, this thing will come in handy by next week, because by next week, when we'll start learning HTML, CSS, okay, I'll be giving us assignments and we'll be having peer review classes too, whereby let's say I could give you a task to build a landing page, all right? That landing page now may have a home page, contact, and about. So you guys can be 3. One person will be working on the home page, the other person will be working on the contact, the other person will be working on the about, you get? So each of your progress, you push your changes, and I'll be the one to review and merge the changes. Are we together? So that you get a feel of collaboration in Git and GitHub. So that is where we'll end for today in our class. Our time is fast spent, and I even took extra time out of the 2 hours that was allotted. So I don't know, does anybody have any question before we wrap it up? Okay. You have a question? Okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah. It's available on YouTube. Just go to Spin FM. Yeah, on YouTube, yes. You see it there. You can rewatch today's class actually. It's available on the web. It's on YouTube. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I really love your pace, and you guys are good. I hope to keep getting this positive response. But meanwhile, if you've not looked at that link that I dropped in the group, please use tonight to look at it. It will cement everything that you've learned so far. Are we together? At least you've had a first-hand experience of it. Now, watch that video. I don't really expect you to assimilate every single thing that is in the video actually, but it will help you to cement the things you've learned so far. And if you have a personal system, if you get home, try to practice. It's actually fun. You appreciate it better. So this is me saying thank you very much and see you tomorrow. God bless you all. He's saved. What is that? That means you'll be joining online actually. All right, we are done. Please kindly shut down your systems and we are done. Kindly shut down your systems. All right, I'm coming.